Needham boys lacrosse is used to winning. A lot. So last year's 11-8 record isn't something they are used to. Keep this in mind, though. Half of those losses were by only one goal. As usual, the Rockets loaded their schedule with high-quality opponents like Xaverian, Catholic Memorial, Bishop Girton, and Hingham. Now Needham dropped a hard-fought contest to BC High to open the season by a final of 12-10, but they bounced back with a convincing 16-9 win over Framingham. Following that up on April 11th was another conference matchup, this one against Natick. And it's the third game of the year for the Rockets. Second straight one at home, second straight against the conference opponent. Early on in the first, we're tied at 1. And watch the transition by Eric O'Brien from defense to offense. Scoots up the side, passes ahead to John Andre. He'll get it over to Brendan Walsh, who rips a laser for his second goal of the game and the first of 3 unanswered goals to end the quarter for Needham. Next one again is a beautiful display of defense to offense. O'Brien again starting the transition as he pickpockets the Natick player there. Danny McAvoy parked down low, waiting for the feed, and when he gets it, watch the stick work going low to high to change the plane. That is a goal that the goalie had no shot on. The last goal of the quarter, though, just might be the prettiest. Jason Child, he'll take the feed behind the net and watch him as he swims around the defender, and he'll whip a wraparound into the back of the net. Needham leads it 4-1 as we go on to the second quarter. And in that second quarter, it takes the Rockets just 35 seconds to score. They get it down to Antonio Trabuco, watch him spin off his defender, toss it across to O'Brien for the tally. Those two making it look like easy pickings out there. A minute later, Natick would stop the bleeding momentarily. The Redhawks use a bit of a pick and roll behind the net, and they're able to sneak it just over the shoulder right there of Austin Shaver. However, later in the half, Walsh shifts the momentum right back to Needham. He'll take the feed from O'Brien, has a bunch of space to work with, and he bounces it coming up right here off the turf, giving him a hat trick already in this game. It's 6-2 in favor of Needham as we go to halftime. On the second half, Needham ratcheting up the defense. Austin Shaver making some terrific saves in that first one here on a shot up close. He even kind of threw a little bit of a pick right there on his own players. How about some physical play, though, now? Natick bringing the ball up. They are completely unaware that Jack Malloy is lurking, and he lays a beautiful picture-perfect check on the Natick midfield. I think that's the last time you're going to see a Red Hawk player go up without at least a little bit aware of what's around them. Back to Shaver in net, though. Natick makes the nice play to knock down Shaver's clear. Counters with an even better denial, though, in net right there to keep the Rockets in charge and going in this one. We jump to the fourth quarter. Off the opening face-off, Needham slams the door shut, courtesy of Antonio Trabuco once more. He receives the pass with plenty of space, steps into it, and he will unleash a snipe of a shot, top shelf. Beautiful goal. You might as well just step out of net right there if you're the goaltender. Rockets victorious by a final of 10-4. It's their second straight conference win. 6 different goal scorers in this one as they spread the wealth. The boys would add a 14-1 victory over Braintree this afternoon, and they'll start vacation next week by traveling to Bishop Girton in New Hampshire. Well, it's not often that Needham girls lacrosse finds itself as the underdog in the game. So the Rockets found themselves in an unfamiliar spot when they hosted Garden City of Long Island on April 12th. Now, the Trojans are a national powerhouse, regularly ranked in the top 5 of the country. And coming into the game on Wednesday, they boasted 17 Division I commits. This would certainly be a formidable challenge, early season challenge for Needham. Pick it up the first minute of the game. Garden City, they're on the go. Goalie Caitlin Larson tosses all the way to midfield. The Trojans quickly work it up to Jackie Bratton, and she would beat Liz Valentini low to the far corner, giving the Trojans an early 1-0 lead. Rockets would respond a couple minutes later. Maeve Barker passes up ahead to Callie Hem, the sophomore. She'll go top shelf far side for the tally, knotting this game up at 1 apiece. Meanwhile, Liz Valentini making some impressive saves early on in net. Watch, she's quick on her feet right here to rob Liana McDonald of a goal, and then she stones a streaking Kelly George out front. She takes the feed here, goes to rip it on net, but Valentini again is there. Keep the game tied at 1. The Trojans, though, keeping the pressure on, and it does pay off. They speed down the field, courtesy once again of Larson getting it down quickly, and pepper Valentini with another shot. This time it's Sarah Caval. Valentini makes the initial save, but Caval scoops up her own rebound, buries the equalizer, and that goal right there would just open the onslaught as Garden City reels off 7 straight goals, including a connection right here between George and Jen Majid. Just a couple of those 17 D1 commits we alluded to earlier. Late in the half, the Rockets would get back on the board, courtesy of Maeve Barker. So going through here, tries to get the pass, avoids a couple players, but she scoops up the loose ball and rips one to the back of the net right there. However, every time the Rockets scored, the Trojans answered with bunches of goals, ending the half with a quick feed right here by McDonald, getting it by Valentini. So it's a 9-2 game at half, and it was just more of the same in the second half. Good challenge, as we said, for Needham, but they dropped this one by a final of 14-3. They will refocus and get back to in-state play, including 3 of their next 4 at home, including actually a win this afternoon over Braintree.